We know more about the surface of Mars than we do about Earth's oceans. Over 80% of the ocean remains completely unexplored. And of the deep sea, less than 0.001% has ever been seen by human eyes. So, when ancient sailors told stories of sea monsters, creatures with glowing eyes, island-sized bodies, or jaws wide enough to swallow ships, maybe they weren't just telling tales. Maybe they saw something real. Strange fossils, mysterious footage, bizarre carcasses that defy logic. They all point to one chilling question. What if those old sea monsters actually existed? From icy fjords to tropical trenches, strange discoveries have revealed that many legends had a biological basis. Fossils, footage, and eyewitness accounts point to something deeper. Medieval sailors warned of Aspidocalone, a massive creature so enormous it appeared like a small island at sea. Ships would anchor upon its shell, campers would light fires, only for the beast to submerge once disturbed, drowning the unwary. The myth isn't entirely baseless. Leatherback turtles, Dermocales coriacea, can exceed 2 meters, 6.6 feet, in shell length and weigh over 900 kilograms, 2,000 pounds, making them the largest living turtles. With their domed backs, slow movements, and dark coloring, an unmoving leatherback could be mistaken for an island under foggy or dim conditions. Indeed, historical accounts of floating rock-like creatures likely originate from sightings of genuinely massive sea turtles. The physiology of the leatherback, exposed ridged shell, dark silhouette, and buoyant tumbling, matches descriptions of Aspidocalone. Before we continue to Myth 2, the mermaid and its real-world counterpart, here's a quick pause. If you're curious enough to chase down these real-life legends, subscribe and join the quest. Which ocean creature from this list would haunt your dreams? Let me know below. Stories of mermaids, half woman, half fish, have been told for centuries, starting in Greek mythology and echoed in sailors' tales across the world. Yet for many of those who claim to see them, they were probably seeing something real. The marine mammals known as manatees or dugongs belong to the order Sirenia, a name that echoes the myths of sirens from Homer's Odyssey. European explorers like Christopher Columbus reported spotting mermaids near the Caribbean in 1493, writing that these creatures were not so beautiful as they are painted, because their facial features were more masculine, an honest observation misinterpreted as myth. Manatees are slow-moving, grayish marine mammals with round bodies, eyes set low on their head. With sailors fatigued and longing for company, sightings of mermaids gained traction. Unlike mythical mermaids with combed hair and tails, manatees were simply sea mammals, easily misinterpreted in low visibility, waves, and long voyages. But for the people who saw them and passed on the stories, the experience was as real as any myth. Cadborosaurus, affectionately nicknamed Caddy, is a legendary sea creature from the Pacific Northwest. Described over centuries by fishermen and coastal residents, it's often imagined as a long, snake-like body with vertical undulations, a horse-like or camel-like head, and flippers at the front, and sometimes the rear. Sightings span from British Columbia to Alaska and have numbered over 300 in the past 2 centuries. Scientists investigating these reports suggest more grounded explanations. Wave-like formations of sea lions crossing in tight groups can create the illusion of a long, continuous body. Stranger still, giant oarfish, long, silvery ribbon-like fish, undulate in the water and shimmer under light, exactly like a serpentine creature. Decomposing basking sharks can shed their jaws and fins in ways that, from a distance, appear like mythical plesiosaur carcasses. In one notable instance, 2 police officers first thought they saw a sea serpent, only to realize through binoculars they were watching a bull sea lion leading others in a coordinated swim, producing a haunting, undulating hump train. There was even a famous 1937 incident at a whaling station where fishermen found a long carcass in a whale's stomach. Photographs showed a rectangular head and sinuous body arranged across tables and crates. But when samples were examined by museum experts, the remains were identified as those of a fetal baleen whale. So, while the colorful tales of Caddy endure, complete with dramatic visual descriptions, the most plausible reality behind the legend lies in misidentifications of real marine animals behaving in unusual conditions. Myths don't vanish at daylight. They often reveal truths obscured beneath the waves. Legends of the Kraken, a monstrous sea beast capable of dragging entire ships into the depths, have captivated imaginations for centuries. But this myth isn't purely fictional. The actual creature most scholars believe inspired such tales is the colossal squid, Mesonicoteuthis hamiltoni. Discovered in 1925 from parts found in a sperm whale's stomach, Specimens have since weighed nearly 500 kilograms, making it the heaviest invertebrate alive. This squid's most extraordinary feature? Its eyes, the largest known in the animal kingdom. Each eye can measure up to 27 centimeters, 11 inches, in diameter, about the size of a basketball. These massive, forward-facing eyes are adapted to capture as much light as possible in near total darkness. It reigns as living proof that ancient stories were likely inspired by real and terrifying creatures of the deep. For decades, Loch Ness has been the focal point of tales about Nessie, a creature said to be long-necked, reptilian, and haunting the dark waters. These stories often drew comparisons to plesiosaurs, ancient marine reptiles known for their distinctive long necks and flippers. Plesiosaurs were not dragons or mythical monsters. They were real creatures that thrived in Earth's oceans from about 203 million to 66 million years ago. They met their end during the Cretaceous-Paleogene mass extinction event, roughly 66 million years in the past. In contrast, Loch Ness itself formed only about 10,000 years ago, after the Ice Age, far too late for any dinosaur-era creatures to have survived there. They were built to move horizontally in the water. Most credible explanations for Nessie sightings point to misidentifications, floating logs, bubbles, wave patterns, or optical illusions. In Maori tradition, Taniuha are powerful, shape-shifting beings, said to inhabit rivers, lakes, coastal waters, caves, and other hidden places. Legends portray them variously, as tidal guardians, serpentine monsters, or even living, strong natural forces. Some were protective kaitiaki, guardians, offering refuge and guidance. Others were feared beings capable of dragging people into deep waters or causing disaster. Interestingly, linguistic and cultural roots suggest that the term taniwa stemmed from the Proto-Oceanic word tanifa, meaning shark. In several Polynesian languages, such as Tongan and Samoan, a similar word refers to large, dangerous shark species. It's likely that over generations, real encounters with formidable marine animals were woven into stories of Taniwa. The idea of a shark or pod of sharks lurking in hidden waterways could easily become mythologized as a shape-shifting guardian or monster. Moreover, certain Maori stories describe Taniwa transforming, manifesting as logs, whales, or crocodile-like forms, which parallels how unfamiliar glimpses of marine life might have inspired mythic interpretations. For example, a pod of whales seen from a distance or a floating log swaying unnaturally in river currents could spark a Taniwa legend. For centuries, legends of the Kraken, a monstrous sea creature capable of dragging down ships with its massive tentacles, captured imaginations. Today we know that myth wasn't pure fantasy. The giant squid, Architeuthis dux, is a real deep-sea cephalopod, typically reaching lengths of 10 to 13 meters, 33 to 43 feet, from body to tentacle tips, making it one of the largest invertebrates on the planet. Scientific estimates place the longest confirmed specimens at around 13 meters, extremely rare, but within documented range. One famous 2005 incident brought the first ever live images of a giant squid. An 8-meter individual took bait on a camera line and clung for hours before breaking free. In the pitch-black twilight zone of the deep ocean, between 600 and 800 meters below the surface, floats one of nature's strangest and most mesmerizing creatures, the barreleye fish, Macropini microstoma. At first glance, it seems like something from science fiction, a small fish with glowing green eyes housed inside a transparent, fluid-filled dome atop its head. These tubular eyes, designed for detecting faint light sources above, can rotate forward to focus on prey, functioning much like swiveling binoculars. The transparent shield acts as its own little cockpit, giving it a surreal, almost alien appearance. The barreleye's anatomy isn't just for show. Its large, rod-rich eyes are engineered for vision in near-total darkness, allowing it to spot bioluminescent jellyfish or small crustaceans drifting through the water. The see-through head makes it impervious to the stinging tentacles of siphonophores, common deep-sea prey it often steals food from. This little fish was first described in the late 1930s, but it wasn't until 2009 that a live specimen was filmed in its deep habitat by ROV cameras. That rare footage revealed the rotating eyes and transparent skull in full motion, and while their stories twisted over time, the core of them wasn't wrong. Evolution has produced animals more bizarre and terrifying than any human imagination could dream up. And here's the part we can't ignore. Over 80% of our oceans remain unexplored. We've mapped the surface of Mars more thoroughly than Earth's seafloor. So, when we say there's more out there, we're not talking about maybe. We're talking about certainty. The legends we've just explored, they're proof of what's already been found. The real question is, what haven't we found yet? If you're still here, then you're one of us, someone who wants to uncover the truth behind the myth. So, tell me in the comments, which of these real ocean creatures shocked you the most? And more importantly, what do you think is still out there? Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we're just getting started. The sea forgets nothing, it only hides.